Peace be upon you and God's mercy and blessings. Today, I will explain the MT5 program for copying trades from Telegram channels to MetaTrader 5. The video will be a bit long because I will explain all the features in the program. At the end of the video, I will show you in detail how to purchase the program. After you buy it, you will receive the download link and username by email. The download link and username, this is what the program looks like after you download it. We just install it as usual. Click Next. The next step is to click on the install button and then wait. It will proceed normally. After the program finishes installing, we click Finish and we will find MT5 and MT5 settings, the settings section. We will open the settings. It will ask us to add the username. This username is the one you receive in the email right after you purchase it. We add the username and click Submit. The settings started to open for us exactly like this. We will try everything. Here we have the first option, Enable Close All Positions. Message. This is if the channel owner sends a close message to close all trades. You check it. Disable Take Profit to use trailing stop. This is if you want the program not to do it. It will not take the profit that comes in the trade message and will rely on the trailing stop. The stop here is the trailing stop, which is the moving stop loss. So if you check this option, it will rely on the trailing stop and will not add the take profit that comes in the trade message. Prevent duplicate trades on the same symbol, this one. If you check it, it will prevent a trade from being taken on the same pair more than once while the previous one is still open. For example, if there is an open trade on gold, yes, if you check this option, there won't be another trade opened on gold until the previous trade is closed first. Yes, this is for when the channel owner usually posts the trade without setting it and you want to take these trades. So what you need to do is go ahead and check this specific option right here. Yes, make sure this option is selected. And once that is done, yes, when the trade achieves 50%, once the trade reaches a level of profit, the system automatically closes out 50% of the total position in order to effectively secure those realized gains. Here, if the channel owner posts the trade in a forwarded message or has done something to it, but if the trade is shared and posted directly in the channel, there is no need for you to check it at all. Yes, here, if you check this option, if there is an open trade on, no sell trade can be opened. That means it doesn't prevent an opposite trade from being opened on the same pair, an open trade, right now. Here, if you enable this, it will prevent trades from being taken on Fridays. Here, if you want all trades to be taken with a fixed lot size, here you set the lot size for safety in case there's an issue with calculating the percentage or anything like that. Here, if you want each trade to be taken with a certain percentage of the account. For example, if you write here 2%, 2% will be used for each trade. Its risk will be 2%, yes, from the account. And the lot size will be determined based on this. So if you set it to 2% and the account has $1,000, then the maximum loss for each trade will be $20. And of course, it is important to remember that for the percentage calculation to function correctly, the lot size field must remain completely empty. However, if you decide to manually enter a specific fixed lot size, you will find that the percentage setting will no longer work as intended. See. So to reiterate this point, the field must be left blank for the percentage risk to be applied. Now, moving on, let us consider the scenario where you want each and every trade to have a strictly defined fixed stop loss value and a fixed take profit. So for example, if you enter 10 here and 10 here, every trade will have a stop loss of 10 pips and a take profit of 10 pips. Here, loss adjust and profit adjust are for if you want to modify the stop loss and take profit before the program applies them. So for example, if you write plus 10 here, the stop loss will be 10 pips. If you write minus 10 here, for example, the stop loss will move closer by 10 pips. And the same goes for the profit. If you write plus 10, the profit will be set to 10 pips. If you write minus 10, the profit will move closer by 10 pips. Here, this is the maximum number of trades that can be open at the same time. So, for example, if you write here 3, if the program opens 3 trades and there's another trade, it won't open it because you have specified here that the maximum number of open trades at the same time is 3, max daily trades. Here, this is the maximum number of daily trades. So if you write, for example, 5, if the program takes 5 trades in a day, it won't take 6. This represents the max daily loss calculated as a percentage. Here, you set the daily loss. If the program loses that amount, it won't take any more trades. For example, if you write here 5, once the account loses 5% in a day, that's it, just 5%. The program will stop taking trades. It won't take any more trades from Telegram. Here, you carefully define the specific account value threshold at which, if the account reaches it, the automated program will immediately prevent you from taking any more trades. For example, if you decide to set this limit right here to $500, as soon as the account reaches $500, the program will stop taking trades. We will try all of this out. Here in Telegram, we click on New, and we add the Telegram phone number. This is how we connect with Telegram to specify the channel we want to copy from. First, we enter the country code, 02, and then the number. And we click OK. After that, a verification code will be sent. We enter it here. After that, all the channels you are subscribed to will appear, and you select one or more channels, because the program supports more than one channel at the same time without any problem at all. So if you want the program to monitor 10 channels at the same time, and if any of those 10 channels post a deal, the program will take it and post it to all of them at the same time. And so here, if the deal message that comes on Telegram includes an entry price, and you want the difference between the entry price and the current price not to be large or to be within a certain number, you write it here. For example, if you set it to 10, if the price in the deal message is different from the current price by 10, the deal will be blocked. Here, if the channel owner works with only one symbol or one currency and is used to sending the deal message without mentioning the name of the currency, like for example, and then you write the name of the currency here, let's say, for example, what? Trailing stop here, if you want to use a trailing stop, it works the same way as the MetaTrader trailing stop, which is a moving stop loss. For example, if you write 10, as soon as the trade achieves 10 pips, the stop loss moves to the entry point, and for every pip above 10, the stop loss moves with it. Here is the break-even percentage. Here, for example, if you write 70, as soon as the net reaches 70%, the stop loss moves to the entry point at that profit level, and so on. Also 40, once the trade achieves 40%, the stop loss is moved to the entry point. Here, if you want the program not to take trades on certain currencies, for example, if you write here, the program won't take any trades on. Here is the opposite. Here, if you want the program to take trades only on specific currencies. So if, for example, you write gold here, it will only take trades on gold, nothing else. And of course, when you select anything, you separate them with a comma. In this section, if there are specific keywords or phrases found within the channel's close message, you automatically transmit those signals so that the entirety of the trade is successfully closed out. Here, if there is a specific word in the close message, if it's present, it won't close trades. Here, maximum TP levels lets you set the maximum number of trades it can take on TP levels, which are TP1, TP2, and TP3. So if, for example, you set it to 3 here, if the trade has 4 levels, profit TP1, TP2, TP3, and TP4, it will only take the first 3 TPs, each one with a separate trade. So it will open 3 trades, the first trade with TP1, the second with TP2, and the third with TP3. If you leave it blank, it will only take the first TP1 with just 1 trade. Now, moving on to the section regarding the specific settings for buy or all TP orders. These are words in case, for example, the channel owner uses another language, Turkish, French, or whatever. You write here words like buy and here, the relevant words. If the channel is in a completely different language, and also the entry price, which is the price that comes before entering the trade. For example, this is at price, like that. Here, if the channel owner is used to sending a message so that as soon as he sends it, it triggers the rest of the entry. Like, for example, securing. As soon as he sends the word securing, for example, in it, the stop loss is moved to the entry point automatically. Here, MetaTrader path configuration. Here, if you have more than one MetaTrader 5 on your device and you want to specify a particular version among them, the program will only work on that version. And then you click, and after that, the first thing it does is check if there's an update, and if there is, it downloads the update, which takes some time. Now that we have successfully completed the initial setup and configuration, it is finally time for us to move forward and actually launch the application so we can see it in action. I am going to go ahead and open the program right now, and once the main interface has fully loaded up on our screen, we will take a very thorough look at how everything functions and try out the various features together to ensure that every single component is working exactly as we expect it to for our specific project needs. 4878. The moment a message is sent, it immediately appears in the Telegram channel and reacts in real time without any delay, instantly. And of course, if the channel owner sends the security message that we 4878. As soon as the message is sent, it immediately activates in the Telegram groups at the exact same moment, with no delay, instantly. And of course, if the channel owner sends the security message that we set up, as soon as he sends it, we'll notice that the bot moves to the entry area. But we need to pause. Let's go ahead and test it out right now. So here we go. As we can see, it successfully went straight to the designated entry point. Now let's try using the new user ID, which is the specific one we actually mean for the program to use during this session. We want to make sure that the system recognizes this ID correctly and processes everything as it should before we move on to the next stage of the test. This is because we specifically prevented the program from using it. Okay, let's try a new example, such as selling gold. We can set the stop loss at 4.8. Of course, the program can normally take the trade whether it is with a stop loss or just with a take profit, and then when the price comes down, the message itself moves along with it. This ensures that the program stays updated with the current market conditions at all times. It updates immediately, meaning here the take profit isn't set. But as soon as we put a take profit in a message, here for example, take profit 4850, as soon as the message is sent, the take profit is updated right away, and the same goes for the stop loss. Of course, the close message as well. Closing ends trades. All right, so we said we would try something, right? Let's try, for example, opposite trades like buying gold with a stop loss. We'll take another trade. So here it tells you Trade on gold is already open because we specified that it will take opposite trades. Which are these? As soon as this achieves 50% of, it will close immediately. We want to test it for something, but we just need to make sure there's enough liquidity. Here, I set the maximum daily trades. The highest number of daily trades is 5 trades. As soon as we took 5 trades, the program prevented it from taking any more trades. All right, let's remove it so we can change it and test more comfortably. Here, X is the number of open trades at the same time, as written. Here it's 3. Let's set the maximum daily loss to 1 so we can test it properly. And here, let's set it to 870 so we can also test it properly. Which means as soon as the account reaches 870, the program will stop taking trades. And when it reaches the daily loss, for example, at 1%, it will stop taking trades. After making any changes to the settings, we click on Restart. It checks if there is an update or not, and then it opens. Of course, we've set the risk to 2%, which is equivalent to $7.62. So for example, okay, let's also disable the option so we can take trades freely to test things out. Of course, here the lot size is 20 cents. Stop loss. As we set it, it moved to the entry point, and every time it increases by just 1 pip, it moves right along with it, always keeping pace. That means with each pip increase, it continues to adjust its position, staying in sync with the movement. Let's also cancel it so we can try something else. It takes opposite trades so that we can try them out and see which ones work. The other things, like closing half the position and things like that. But in this particular situation, it actually will not work. So make sure to keep it very close to you. That way you can avoid any issues that might come up. All right. The river of humiliation. I'm waiting here. I'll show you how to close half the lot when you reach 50% and also when you reach 40% for the stop loss. It moves to break even. So please excuse me if the video is a bit long. Here, it's actually 40%, and the stop has to move to the entry point. Here it is. This is for break even and closing half the position. Half the position was already closed here because the position was 30 cents. So 10 cents were closed because there isn't a 15-cent option. So here too, closing half the position at 50% secured some profits. Let's try something else as well. Right now, we are in the process of thoroughly trying out the specific topic that we have already set up for the number 10. So let's go ahead and test it properly. In addition to that, we will also be taking some time to try out the other topic regarding the daily loss and the number 78 to see how everything performs under these current conditions. We want to ensure that every single detail is accounted for during this trial run to get the most accurate results possible for our ongoing project and future evaluations. Of course, we've now met the daily loss condition, so we'll see, and also the 1%. Here it tells you that the daily loss for AXA has been reached, so it prevents taking more trades. We'll disable it so we can try other things. Of course, here the account balance has dropped below this number, so it will also prevent it. Let's also try taking trades so that everything is clear. It will tell you that the balance is 869 and the minimum limit was 870, so it will prevent taking trades. So we'll disable it as well so we can test. Now we are going to move forward and conduct a comprehensive evaluation of the TP2 level to see exactly how it performs under these specific conditions. It is important that we take our time with this particular stage of the process to ensure that every single metric is captured accurately and that we don't miss any critical data points during the execution of this test. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and initiate the testing sequence for the TP2 level right now and observe the results as they come in. TP2, TP3, but since we've set it to 2, it will only take TP1 and TP2. Here you go. TP1 and TP2, each one as a separate trade. Okay, let's also try the case where there's a 10 pip difference between the entry price and the current price. For example, now it's 480. What car do you have? Yeah, so what's the difference in your favor? He gets the deal. I mean, for example, what we've done is the entry price was officially set at 4,865 for selling, but he actually entered the market at 4,864. In this specific instance, this small shift wasn't in his favor because the price was just slightly below the target. The total difference between these 2 points is less than £10, which is a very narrow margin for this trade. I mean, I'm saying if the price is at, say, 4,866 or 4,867, he'll enter. Why? Because that difference is in your favor. But if he enters a sell at 4,865 and the entry price is at 4,864, the deal will be blocked. Let's try, for example, let's take a sell at 4,800. You must act with extreme urgency and move as quickly as possible right now without any further delay.
The primary reason for this current situation is that the entire deal ended up being blocked specifically because the calculated difference between the two values was found to be significantly more than 10 units in total. To provide you with the exact figures for your records, the specific entry price that has been officially recorded for this particular transaction is exactly $4,867.50 per unit. This price point is critical for the next steps in the process. More than 10 pips. Almost the difference. 14 pips. Let's try again. But this time, let the difference be clear. Here we go. Here. The entry price is 4,864, and here the entry price is at 62, so the difference is about 14 pips, but this is in favor of the deal. So yes, it blocks it when the difference is not in favor of the deal. So for example, when you want to sell in a sell trade and the price is actually higher, it will take it. That means it's in your favor, but if the difference is against you, it will block the trade. This is the protection against slippage. So let's try another one also against you. Here, we'll take a sell order, but this time, for example, the price will be below. Right now, it's at 65. No, let's say the entry price is currently sitting at 67, for example. In this specific scenario, the system will automatically block it, simply because the calculated slippage is actually more than 10 pips. Here, this difference is against you, not in your favor. So this price discrepancy will ultimately cause you to lose money. And that is why it blocked the trade for you. So what other strategies should we try next? We've pretty much tried everything now. Of course, the program works on any channel in any language, whether Arabic, English, French, Italian, whatever it may be. There is flexibility here. There is a great deal of flexibility when it comes to buying and selling, including the terms buy and sell, take profit, stop loss protections, entry points, securing gains, and closing positions. It covers pretty much every single aspect of the entire process, really. But now we've pretty much tried everything. So I'll leave you the purchase link below in the bio, in the description, and in a pinned comment. When you click on that purchase link, it will open the program's page for you. The page contains everything and a complete explanation of the program. So, for example, we'll click on Buy Now. The price of the program is $100, lifetime access. You make a one-time purchase, and the entire program is yours to keep forever, including every single future update, along with dedicated lifetime technical support. So you click on Purchase Now here, and then just as a quick example, you can go ahead and enter your personal email address right here into the field. And then I am clicking the box that says, I am not a robot. And then we click on Make a Payment. This is the payment page. You pay this amount, which is 101.5 to this address via USDT. But you send it to this address using USDT on the BEP20 network, which is the BSC network. Just like there's USDT on Tron, which is TRC20, and there's USDT on Ethereum, which is ERC20. There's USDT on BP20. When you go to send from Binance, it asks you to choose the network. So you select BEP20 and you enter this address and you send this amount. And after you send it, you click. As soon as the purchase is completed, you will receive an email, whether in the inbox or the spam folder, with the download link for the program and the username, and you will have it for life. And that's the end of the video. Thank you. Peace be upon you.